Hi everyone, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about how the grass is always greener, especially when it comes to how people look. I've just noticed, through working with people, through my clients, that, sometimes I'll have back to back clients. Like one lady will tell me, oh, Miriam, I am really tall and I want to, I've always wanted to be petite. And then the next client, the next day, will tell me, I am petite and I want to look taller. And it really gets me thinking, just having so much of this kind of feedback, there is so much out there where we are always trying to look different from how we are in almost every way. And the thing that I've noticed is that there's always someone who's going to want to look like you. And it's just so interesting to me because even when I did the video on Shiv Roy, and from Succession, and she is kind of low contrast, and sometimes people, even with color types, people want to look different than their color type. So, someone may have really low contrast features like Elle Fanning, very light, or like Shiv Roy, and they're really soft in their coloring. And they don't have any of the contrasting features like what I happen to have, for example, or what a lot of people happen to have. And sometimes people come to me and they want to look more contrasting. And I've always found that it's just so unique and so beautiful to be low contrast, and it's so unique and beautiful to be high contrast. And the thing that happens when we honor our own beauty and embrace our own beauty is that we bring it out in such a flattering way that it looks even more beautiful, right? And what ends up happening when we end up sort of trying to like so-called fix it, like as if there's something wrong with being low contrast, something wrong with being high contrast. If we try to fix it, that's when it can start to look like it's not right, like something is not right. So this is why I've just found these kinds of approaches and systems to really doing a customized approach for someone, really getting to the bottom of their color type, getting to the bottom of their coloration, their lines, their silhouettes, their features, and finding a way to bring that out. That can really be so much more flattering than trying to look like someone else, because that someone else is trying to look like you. And to keep that in mind, that someone else is trying to look like you. And I will tell you that's the truth with all of the people that I've worked with. So many people sometimes will tell me, well, I want to look like this, or I want to change this. And then the next person will tell me, I want to look like this other person, you see? And so I just found that to be so interesting. And so, there was this one client that I had, and I typed her sharp and soft. The closest Kibbe type is soft dramatics. This is someone who is tall and has long lines, long arms and legs, and also curvy and soft and lush facial features. So you can imagine someone who really has that presence and gravitas and also that femininity to her. And she wrote to me that she's like, I don't like that. She said, quote, it's not my words, okay? She said, I don't like that trophy wife look. And I still remember that to this day, because this was 5 years ago now. And I still remember that to this day because I was thinking, wow, I never really thought of it that way. I never really thought of it that way. And sharp and soft, and of course I talked with her and I told her sharp and soft doesn't have to look like a trophy wife, although you certainly would look like an excellent trophy wife. But you don't have to look like a trophy wife. You can do so much more with those lines. You can look incredibly elegant and sophisticated. You can look boho. You can look anything. And that's a part of why I was inspired to make body geometry, is to help clients like that who have this idea that a certain body type has to look a certain way. And I made my body typing system in a way where we can separate the lines and then use those lines to achieve whatever look that you want to achieve, while still honoring your beauty and how you look, but not necessarily tying a certain style to it. Like, you don't have to look like a model if you're a dramatic type, or apparently a trophy wife, which I didn't know, if you're a soft dramatic, you see. Although, again, you certainly could. You could look like a trophy wife if you're any type, actually. So yeah, I just thought that was so interesting. And then years later, this was like a few months ago, right? So this woman was my client 5 years ago, and she said that. And, I helped her to sort of find another way to honor her lines without going for that trophy wife aesthetic, because that's not what she wanted. And then years later, one of my petite clients, she's mixed soft gamine, she commented under one of my videos, and she was saying, oh, well, I would say that Sharp and Soft really has it all. Soft Dramatic has it all, because Sharp and Soft has the height and also has the curves. And I thought that was so interesting because, this is someone who is like very petite and curvy and things like that. And this is what she said. She said that, Sharp and Soft has it all. But I bet that so many Sharp and Soft ladies want to be mixed soft or blended soft or any other type like that, or flamboyant, natural, beveled firm or whatever, And so I bet that that's the case. And so I thought that was so interesting how the different types see each other. It's like the blended type, the classic, is like, oh, well, I really wish that I could pull off all of this like fun, cool stuff that mixed taut, flamboyant gamine can pull off. And flamboyant gamine is like, well, I wish that I could do like just a very simple look and just have that like ultra elegance that the classic can have. But actually, it's not even true that mixed taut can't be elegant. And I say this in so many videos. Audrey Hepburn is mixed taut. She's like the poster child of elegance. And she's mixed taut. You just do it a different way. And again, this is why, I tried to like separate the image that you would have from the lines. And I've just found that that's the best way that I can help my clients to express themselves, through their clothing, is through understanding the lines and then using those lines to express themselves and build any style that they want. And so, okay, so I have notes too, because there's a lot of stuff here that well, this one is funny. One of my clients had naturally curly hair, and she always would straighten her hair. And this is the thing, is that, a lot of people with straight hair curl their hair, and they curl their hair in a significant way. Sometimes they even get perms to have very curly hair. And then people with curly hair, they perm their hair to have straight hair, right? And so we're just all getting perms left and right. And so this one lady, she was always styling her curly hair straight. And then she went into work, and one of her coworkers, she was, she had naturally straight hair. She was East Asian, so she had like black hair, that black pin straight hair, right? And the light skin, East Asian. I think she may have been from, I forgot where this lady was from, but it was her coworker. And so I told, my client, your hair would look amazing curly. You don't have to straighten your hair every day, if that's not something that you want to spend your time on. Your hair would look amazing curly on you, and you should try it out curly. And her coworker ran up to her, the one with the naturally straight hair, and she was like, oh, did you get a perm? Did you get a perm? Your hair looks amazing. And it's like, no, she did not get a perm. That's just what her hair looks like. But her coworker would have been getting a perm to get her hair to look like that. So I just thought that was so interesting, the idea of just tanning, it's like, well, people who are light, they tan. And then, more controversially, people who are darker, sometimes they will do skin lightening. So it's just, the grass is just always greener, and we're all trying to look like each other. And the truth of the matter is that I've really, truly learned from the bottom of my heart that every single person has their own beauty. And when I was first starting out with this, I would study a body type until I found that body type to be the most beautiful. And then I would move on to the next one, and I'd study it until I found that body type to be the most beautiful. Because I really think that it's so important for people to see their own beauty. And when you see your own beauty, then you can actually dress it in a way that is flattering to you, right? If you see your own beauty, you will know how to enhance it. And so this is what I work with my clients on, is really kind of putting it all together for them. A lot of people, and most people, and I bet if you're watching this, you know what looks good on you already. You know through your experience what looks good on you. You've lived in your body. You've tried on. You've been the one in the dressing rooms trying things on all these years, and you've come this far where you're watching videos on this. This is an interest of yours. What is flattering to you. So I know that you have an intuition for what looks good on you, and that's the thing, is that it's all about putting it together. It's not so much that oftentimes when people get a typing with me, they are, and I've talked about this before, like, how do you know if your color typing is right, or how do you know if your body typing is right? Oftentimes it will confirm what you already know, and on top of that, it will sort of put things into perspective. It will crystallize things. It will give you a plan for what, like, really sort of give you an approach and a plan for what will look good on you and how to go about doing it. And sometimes, even though we have an intuition, it can be confusing still, because it can be difficult to recreate sometimes, like what we know looks good on us or something like that. But with the systems and everything that we have worked on, and all of the stylists and everybody has worked on, not only me, everybody, it really helps to solidify and like crystallize and clarify what looks good on you, and it should really confirm what you already know, and then some, and then it'll add clarity, it'll add more options. Maybe if you look good in this, you may not have thought to try this also, things like that, so anyway, it should really confirm what looks good on you. Let me look at my notes and see if I missed anything. Oh, well, I was going to talk about how, even in terms of like the times in the Renaissance, people would actually be painted heavier than they are, because that was considered more beautiful, because that was something that was more rare. And now it's like people are photoshopped to be thinner, and so much of beauty, there is an aspect of beauty, of course, that's aesthetic and it's timeless, and then there's also an aspect of beauty that is really based on the times, and based on trends and things like that. And what I'm looking to do, and I think what a lot of people who are watching this are looking to do, is if you're watching this, you're looking for something timeless. You are looking for aesthetic principles. You're not looking for trends. If you've come to this channel, if you've come this far that you're kind of really looking into things, I really think you're looking for something that is very much timeless, very much aesthetic principles. And, that's what the lines and the silhouettes and everything and the colors are. It's something that is beyond time, and it's something that would apply during the Renaissance as well as it applies now. Even though the trends have changed, the concepts and the principles still apply. Similar to artistic principles, like complementary colors existed during the Renaissance. They existed before the Renaissance, just people discovered them at some point in time. I don't know when, but that is an artistic principle. And complementary colors have always existed, and they always will exist, just like silhouettes have always existed. And the lines of the body and the way that the fabrics fall on the body, that has always existed. Doesn't matter if it's the Renaissance, doesn't matter if it's right now, 2024, when I'm filming this video, 2024. So it doesn't matter, right? So this is the thing, is that there are all kinds of different looks out there, and sometimes your look is on trend and sometimes it's not. But that doesn't mean that it does not mean that it's any less beautiful. Everybody has their own beauty, and really trying to hone in on that, trying to embrace that is really what's going to make your beauty shine, okay? So that's all I had to say for this video. I really felt like I really wanted to speak on this topic because sometimes I really lose sleep when people tell me that they want to look like someone else when they themselves are just perfectly beautiful. Like, I will actually lose sleep over that. If somebody emails me about something like that, that can really get me thinking. And it also gets me thinking because, sometimes, I always want to advise people on, based on their comfort level, what they feel beautiful in, you see? And at the same time, I want for people to see their own beauty too. So this is something that I work on, with clients, like when they tell me about themselves and they tell me, their feedback and things like that. So, okay, so that is it, you guys. That's all I had to say for this video. I'll leave some links down below to, if you want to book with me, you can find all of that stuff on my website. So I'll leave some links down below on how you can book with me if you are interested. Leave me some comments down below and let me know your thoughts. How have you been growing in your journey in terms of seeing your own beauty? How has that been for you over the years? What are some things that you find beautiful in other people that maybe they don't find beautiful in themselves? What are some things that you find beautiful about yourself? And leave me a comment about that, because I think we often don't talk enough about what we find beautiful about ourselves. So if you have something that you really enjoy about how you look, then leave that in the comments down below. Okay? And that's it. And I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.